Welcome, travelers, to episode 44 of our NearDark Society D&D 5th edition campaign. Continuing from our last episode, tonight's title shall be Siege of the Blood Iron Citadel, Act 2. Now, a good portion of our last episode was spent deciding on what the party will do to engage Dretha within her citadel. With some long deliberation, they finally believe they have an appropriate response to her arcane towers protecting her fortress. So, let's find out if their plan will work. Enter. Super. Yeah.
You do the thing. Let's try to do it. Let's see if you can do it this time.
Yeah, do it.
Wait, what are we doing?
The opener.
Roll the save trial. This is death attack?
Hey, look at that.
I wish I would do it again like the first time.
That first time you did it was just beautiful.
Amazing.
I said that too quick.
Was it save to roll? I think you said save to roll, traveler.
I don't know. There's a clip of it somewhere.
I'm sure there is.
You're like, save to roll it. This is a death attack.
I had a panic attack on stream for 5 seconds.
It was pretty great.
Okay, let's go ahead. Start this off. In fact, we will actually bring us a little bit closer.
Closer to what?
All right. After 4 hours of rest, preparation, the ship has been shrunk down. The group has now traveled and made their way to the outskirts of the Blood Iron Citadel. Finding yourself within the central chamber of the Leviathan's beating heart. On the horizon, you can see it. This black obsidian, iron-like fortress embedded within the very heart. Now that you have a chance to finally see it and Kaz to return and set your eyes upon it again, you see the 5 spires. Although for you they were inert, did not respond to you when you were last here. The small village just before the Citadel has been completely and utterly massacred. Your entire party had to walk through the dismembered remains of the broodlings, their destroyed homes torn to the ground, now in smoldering heaps due to the giants. As you made your way into this central chamber, the giants have already made their base camp. They are now awaiting the assault to be deployed by the Widowmakers. And this is where we will begin. The ship has already been set and placed in order to rain cannon fire onto the Citadel. A few scouts have already moved forward and found that the towers only really activate once you get to about 200 yards from the Citadel itself. That 200-yard stretch is essentially a no man's land. It is blasted and barren. You can see the destroyed remnants of failed sieges by the giant from the past. You can see long destroyed structures, forgotten armaments and battle, failed deployed battle units. Barry approaches. Jezebel. All right, Captain. Ship has been set in place. We're ready to fire on the Citadel as soon as we can. I think Tinsel's a pretty good shot. I don't think he'll hit the heart. I mean, it's kind of hard to miss that if you look at it. You look towards this imposing spire. It is interesting, though. It's the first time the two of you have laid your eyes on this. And Kaz, you being able to see it as well, you know for certain that the structure of this fortress, it's not elven. Even from the architecture that you've seen of the Sun Elves, doesn't resemble it. Seems different, alien. Could the two of you please give me either intelligence or a knowledge history, whichever one is higher.
Is it intelligence?
Do either intelligence or history.
Oof, I
Right,
got
natural
24.
20, so a 24.
I got 24 on intelligence.
24.
That one's higher for me.
Both of you got
24 on intelligence.
All right, so here's the interesting thing.
Mine's not 20 though. I see more than you.
No, both of
see
you,
everything.
both of you actually see different things. Where Jezebel, what you observe is due to your history of knowledge, and Labada, you actually view something not because of your knowledge of history. You actually use your own intelligence to analyze and decipher the meaning of the structure. Jez, as you look towards it, you see very interesting formations on the metal itself. You see these engraved runes that run along it. Now, you don't know too much about Dragonborn society. However, you know Old Red Eye. Well, him and Shiv used to have some pretty long drinking bouts, and both of them sharing stories back and forth. And you'll also know that Dragonborn are not capable of having tattoos. Their scales simply do not hold ink because they do not have skin, like humans or elves do. However, they do like to do something that's considered a scarring or a branding, where they'll burn or carve into their own scales certain patterns or artwork. You know, that Old Red Eye has a rather unique scarring or brand that runs around his left arm. It goes all the way up to the shoulder. The carvings on this citadel, they look pretty similar. Labende, when you stare at this citadel, the thing that you notice the most is the fact that the formation of it, the way it's shaped, it almost looks like the metal's dripping. Like it was formed out of hot slag and they just poured it and let it fall and drip into a tower. And that's when you have an epiphany. Almost seems like the metal is made from this creature's blood.
This doesn't seem right.
Well, it doesn't seem right.
I mean, yeah, there's a big fortress and that thing's hot. Yeah, doesn't look right at all.
I don't think that... You said that was, like, put there? Right?
I'm not entirely too sure. The only thing I've mentioned is that I can't imagine where she got all that iron.
That looks... It looks like it came from... Like, it's like... dripping like it was made there. If that makes sense.
I'm not entirely too sure. Maybe it was a crude forging method. I can't imagine these brewlings are rather skilled when
It's got a point, they're kind of stupid.
But do you think that they could... Do either of you think they could make something like that, even...
Well, I'm
not-
gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take a wild shot in the dark at that. I don't really give a fuck how the castle or fortress or whatever you want to call it's built. It's probably done with magic, and all we gotta do is we gotta go in there and kill whoever this bitch is.
Normally I'd agree with you, but I'd say with the situation, we probably need to look at everything and see if we can use it to our advantage, or if it'll be at a disadvantage.
You know,
Where's the con?
Let me go fetch him. I think he was talking with Igor.
Yeah, just...
One moment, I'll be back.
Do you think if we hit that with the cannons like we're wanting to do, it would hurt? Well, I know we're not... I don't think it's a good idea to hurt the beast, and if that is made from the beast, would it hurt it also?
I don't know. We're gonna see if Khan can read these runes or not.
These giants, they work rather fast. Just gonna stare out at the destruction, just carcasses everywhere.
Yeah, it's clearly that they laid waste. They moved in with extreme prejudice, and they wiped out. There is no broodling opposition. However, you can definitely see that there is droves of them waiting within the no man's land.
Are there giant bodies, or is it just...
It looks like they experienced minimal to no casualties. But however, you do estimate that there's probably about 100 giants at most. And there's women and children here with them. They brought everyone.
Something just doesn't feel right to me as we were walking through here. It just doesn't... Like, why didn't they do this before? It seems like they have no problem. I understand the towers, but it doesn't... And the same for Dretta as well. Like, why didn't she just... If she's so powerful... Like, I've been trying to figure that out since we've been trying to make a plan. Why didn't one fight the other? With no... Why are they at the stalemate in here?
Lavender, you're gonna find out that it doesn't matter what side you're on. No one rushes the war.
It's hard to kind of, picture one or the other not attacking first. Even with the towers, and they don't have the towers from I haven't heard anything about towers at Giant Place. Why didn't she just, I know a little bit about Tiamat. I thought it was always like a scary story, but she's still very powerful. Like, if she's working with her, this doesn't. I'm trying to make sense of it, and it doesn't. A lot of it doesn't really make sense to me.
You see, as this conversation is continuing, Hakan makes his way forward. You can see that he is got his shirt off. He's basically wearing just his pants, and he has his hammer as he moves up. Looks like he's been busy fortifying or constructing the supports to hold the ship while it's firing.
Hakan, good to see you again. Do you me a favor real quick? Can you, what do you make of those? I'm gonna point to the runes.
I saw them when we got here. It's an ancient language. It's not draconic. It's older than that. It's a form of draconic magic. Old runes. It's a magic that has been lost to us.
Can I try to use comprehend language on it?
You can try.
Okay. What do I have to roll for that?
You don't. You just cast it.
Okay.
You cast comprehend language. All right. So as soon as you go to comprehend the language on it, it is very similar to how using comprehend language on magical runes. It doesn't work. You notice the spell, it falters and it fails as you look at these runes, and your brain simply, even with the spell, cannot understand the meanings behind it.
Yeah, it says it right there. Okay. That was a wasted spell.
Well,
I can only assume that those runes are there because it's somehow involved in the construction of this building.
so we're assuming gonna go on down in the guise of stealth, because, well, there's still droves and an army of broodlings waiting in front of the castle keep.
I actually had a plan.
Well,
If the captain's willing to listen. We know the spires will fire upon targets that are not, if our assumptions are correct, bearing that mark or sigil. When we use this to our advantage, I can already tell you right now from looking at it, those spires are not being held together with a adequate amount of support. With enough fire upon them, we could knock those crystals loose. If someone was to make their way to the top of the spire, they could aim it.
Well, that could be rather devastating. I think I can make that happen.
My plan was to focus the fires on the spires itself instead of the actual fortress. If I can break it, or at least knock them free of their bindings, if someone's able to get up there, we should be able to enter in freely, and when the spires activate, they can turn it either against the other spires, or against the broodlings waiting below.
Do you wanted to do that with the cannons? The firing on the towers?
Yes.
Maybe I'd be better for that. I want to help, and I feel like that is the best place for me.
It's a matter of getting you across that field without being seen.
I meant helping with the cannons, aiming. And doing that part.
I just thought of something. One moment, please. I'm gonna start going through the dead bodies of the broodlings.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to find if they have a mark on them.
Doesn't take you very long. You actually find some that you actually find a brooding that looks like it was killed by just blunt trauma, being smacked aside and just dying from the pure force. Its body is completely intact, and as you examine and look around it, actually, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Sure. Investigation. 13.
From your observation on the outside of the creature, you do not see any sort of mark or sign or anything that would prevent these spires from activating.
Okay. What about on the inside?
You want to check the inside of the broodling?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and give me a. Go ahead and give me another investigation check.
Sure.
I'll just make this one at disadvantage because you're kind of moving around through a unknown creature's body.
5.
Okay. You crack open the chest of this broodling, and as you start diving in, it actually, you have to kind of compose yourself for a moment. Your mouth begins to slightly salivate, as it does smell like fresh crab or lobster. It's actually quite appealing to the nose. You haven't really eaten too much in the last few days. Actually, no one really has. Everyone's energy is kind of low at the moment. However, you manage to eventually move through the broodling meat, and as you get into the innards and search around, you do not find any foreign objects, you do not find any hidden sigils or runes. It appears to be a biologically dead broodling.
All right.
Did you find anything?
No, I was hoping that there was some sort of magical mark on them or sigil. The towers must just know to be able to differentiate troops. goes that idea? Well, I guess I am going in alone. So, all right.
I want to take a look at it too, real quick.
Okay.
Just look it over.
Give
Just
me an
double check
investigation check. Are you checking inside of it or outside of it?
it. I'll do both.
Go ahead and do it at disadvantage then.
Am I there?
if
The
you want
outside
to.
as well.
If you're gonna do the inside, it's gonna be disadvantage. If you're gonna do the outside, just regular investigation.
3. Wow.
You look it over, and it looks like a pretty dead broodling.
Did we come with Talek and the two that were with us?
No, because you all sent them forward before the whole situation happened.
I didn't know if we had.
In fact, actually, since Captain Jezebel sent them away, they never returned.
Alright, so I guess we're going forward with the original plan then.
That works. Would I be help over here, Hakan? With the.
If you want to help Tinsel and the dwarf, that's fine. I'm gonna be in the vanguard when I push forward. If push comes to shove, I'll make my way to those spires, one way or another. You're not gonna be alone out there, Cass. But when you go in and this starts, you get to her as fast as you can.
All right. Okay. So, plan is that we knock the bearings loose on these towers and then point them towards each other. I should be able to scale the towers relatively easily with the enchantment on my cloak. How are you looking to get up there?
I have my ways. Now, when you give the order, let me know.
He turns and walks off, heading back towards the ship. At this point, you notice that you feel the heavy footsteps of a giant approaching. You notice King Rhinebeard makes his appearance and stands before the group.
Clan Wildheart,
Oi, Your Majesty.
are we ready?
I believe we are.
I think we are.
Your group does not appear to be very plentiful.
I'm gonna look around. How many people did he have with him?
It's probably about, like I said, no less than 100.
Don't worry. We'll be able to take care of ourselves.
I'm more worried about my people.
They'll be fun too.
I'll hold your word to that. Now,
Are you aware of any plan? Has anybody told you anything?
when you give the signal, we charge.
We do. Well, we plan on taking care of the spires like I told you. Well, after that, we'll dispose of Dretha. See about saving this beast.
Very well. I will move my forces to the outskirts of the spire. See if the broodlings will fight us on open field. I'm sure they won't. The cowards they are.
Right.
You notice that King Rhinebeard then awkwardly turns and begins to walk away.
Wow, that was hard to watch.
I know that there's going to be people that
Foot,
die, right?
foot will.
He just continues to walk.
What do you think happens when what you just said doesn't really happen? What if one of his people fall?
I mean,
There's a lot bigger than
of
you.
course, I didn't mean like no one will ever fucking get hurt.
He's
He
fine.
knows that this is a battle.
Alright.
I don't think that's how he took it.
No, I don't think that's how he took it either. I don't think that's how you said it. But
And maybe I should run up after him and let him know that some of these people might die.
No.
you're gonna have to run really fast then.
Okay, so are we ready to go risk our lives again for just some random encounter that we found ourselves into?
Well, I mean, our lives are kind of tied to this too, at this point.
Yes, but the whole entire, whale swallowing us, it doesn't quite happen on a daily basis.
Sure not. But maybe we were meant to come here.
Or you blew into a magical item that you had no idea that the properties of it would summon a giant whale and swallow us whole.
No,
But hey,
I
we
don't.
got a pretty cool sword out of it.
I don't think that has any correlation with it. I think it just happened.
Oh no, not at all.
Very random.
Coming here turned me into this too, so
There just so happens to be
I know.
a tribe
I
of
don't-
giants that live inside of a whale. Has nothing to do with it. Deal with the sea.
I call that destiny.
Find you as a chosen one. You get a magical sword out of it.
Right. I call
Not
that.
connected at all whatsoever.
I call that destiny, man.
also the person we're about to fight.
Right.
From what I've learned, giants don't like dragons either, and she just happens to. Or something.
She's a dragon.
She's not a dragon.
I didn't say that.
Where were you last conversation?
Well, he
Remember,
just told me
she-
that she's a dragon.
I
She
didn't
has
say that.
ties with
I didn't say that.
the whole Tiamat thing. You forgot that
What?
already.
I've been listening. I've been paying attention.
What are we doing? What are we doing right now? What is this?
We're doing that thing where we just completely lose track of what we're actually supposed to be doing.
Where's Mox?
What? I'm sure.
You notice that most of your crew is basically waiting orders, or they are.
Do I see Mox?
Yeah, they're over there.
Mox,
Mox
Come here.
makes their way over.
you're like a paladin or something, right? Whatever.
Yeah, something or other.
Right. Do you have anything that maybe he can take with him in case things go sour with this whole killing Dresda thing that might help with the whole, Tiamat situation that's powering her up? Maybe to help find the item that's bonding them. Anything along those lines.
Well, you take me with you, I can detect evil.
That's where it's a problem.
Well, Dreth is most definitely evil. So, it should be fine. I don't think I should be holding holy relics or anything along those lines. So,
Why?
really?
Yeah.
You know me.
You think they're like busting flames or something?
I assure you, unless you are some being from the infernal realm or the abyss, nothing holy is going to hurt you.
I can do some very unholy things, so.
No amount of whoring will allow my spells to hurt you.
Is there anything you can give him to help?
Make him impotent?
Can we not?
I mean, if you want to play around with that later, we might be able to do something. It's a little experiment.
Okay, I don't like this. Okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna go in.
You better watch yourself, Kaz. Because I can do that.
I'm gonna go now.
They turn and walk away.
Oh my god. That went south.
That is just devastating. I'm just. The power.
I'm sure they don't mean it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. If we make it out of here alive, that is.
Do you think, Cass, do you think that Mox would be really mad if they knew that I had the whole infernal thing? That kind of scared me a little bit.
Well, I don't think you quite had a choice in that exchange.
No, but I don't want them to hurt me.
I think out of all of us, you're probably the holiest, I guess.
Alright, I have one thing. I'm gonna hand him the last potion of healing I have,
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
just in case.
I'm gonna pop it and sniff it. Okay.
You think it's poison or something?
No, I thought that you were handing me alcohol, so.
Well, it helped me. It wouldn't help you. But, good luck and all that. Maybe we'll see you later. Maybe we won't.
Yes. All right. Okay. Well, I'm ready to might die, so... You're gonna give the order?
I'll give the order. Wait. Am I giving the order? Are we good?
I'm kind of paranoid that I should have told him that there's going to expect casualties.
Alright, it's too late. Alright, men. I'm going in. And women and everyone else.
The children.
Notice as you do that,
Kids.
as soon as you give the
Twinkle
order,
toes.
you notice Barry looks towards everyone. All right, everyone! And he moves up, and you notice he grabs a large, what looks like a type of horn, and you notice he, as he begins to blow into the this horn, it echoes throughout this chamber. It begins to resonate off the walls, and with that, a large battle cry begins to emit from the giants as they begin to roar and scream. You notice that some of the giants almost look like they go into a frenzy, smashing their faces and their chests. You notice that some of them even look towards each other and headbutt, and blood and mayhem just outright occurs as they launch themselves down this hill towards the wreckage and rubble.
Map.
Map.
How's the map song go?
Map.
Is that? I'm a map.
Okay.
From Dora?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So, first things first. Kaz, I'm assuming you are making your way down into the field.
I'm going to whistle and call for Wisp.
You notice as soon as you do that, Wisp.
All right, boy, into the shadows. I'm going to go ahead and run in. I'm going to cloak.
All right, and as you cloak and you go invisible, you notice that Wisp then begins to bounce back and forth between shadows as he moves into this into the warfield. You see the giants have made their way down and have come out to the flattened plain. You can already hear the sound of, it sounds like rain. Sounds like hard rain slamming into the ground until you realize that it is not rain. It is the sound of thousands of chittering legs clacking against the ground as broodlings begin to swarm forward. You notice that the mouth of the Citadel begins to open up as a drawbridge drops, and as the drawbridge finally hits, you see what looks like more broodlings exploding out of the mouth of this Citadel like a flood. As they begin to swarm, it is very obvious and evident the giants are outnumbered 20 to 1. At this point, the cannons begin to fire off. You can see multiple cannons being fired simultaneously at the same time as they fly. The first 4 or 5 crash into mounds and swarms of broodlings, their bodies flying left and right. Huge explosions of just chaos and mayhem erupt as then the next following shots begin to slam into the Citadel. These iron balls that sound like gongs echoing throughout this chamber. Battle has started. Jez, Falder, Lavende, what would the three of you like to do?
I'm going to be helping man the cannons.
Yeah, I'm going to do that too.
Okay, so all three of you are on cannon duty then?
He can say what he's doing.
Well, if there's enough cannons, yeah, I'll shoot a couple.
Can you reach the cannon?
At this point, there's.
I'm sorry, that was inappropriate.
Was
No,
that
that was out of
character?
character. It wasn't my voice. Of course, not character. Sorry, I need to do this. There you go.
So there is enough cannons for everyone to get on. The only other cannon that was being used was being done by Tinsel. However, it does take more than one person to fire a cannon, so both Yegor, Claudia, Marigold, they're all helping you fire with the cannons as well. You notice that Hakan, Mox and Igor have made their way down into the vanguard and are moving up with the giants to meet with the broodlings on the field. Okay? So, can I go ahead and get a few stealth rolls from you there, Kaz?
Okay. I did cast invisibility.
Yep, so it's gonna give you advantage on that.
So. That is 23.
23. Okay. As you continue forward, you have now passed the broodlings. Their swarm is now just about ready to hit the giants within the next few seconds. Which tower are you going to go for first? They are stationed in a 2 on the right, 2 on the left, and there is one directly above the center of the opening within the Citadel.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let's see here. I'm going to go for the center one first.
Center one? Okay. So that means you're going to have to cross the bridge, which is currently filled with broodlings.
Okay. If that's a fact, then I'll go for the right one then.
You go for the right one? Okay. So as you move over the right one, you come to the base of the tower. As soon as you get to the base of the tower, that's when you hear the sound of the battle erupting. The broodlings have slammed into the giant forces. The 3 of you on the ship, as you look down into the giants and watch this happening, it was like getting hit by a tidal wave of bodies. It looked like the scene from World War Z, as the broodlings slam into these giants and begin to just overwhelm them. The front line of the giants gets decimated within the first 10 seconds. Can I get rolls from the 3 of you? So, who's firing and who's loading powder?
I'm blasting.
So you're going to be aiming?
I would imagine I'd be firing because I would be able to. It's kind of similar to.
So you're going to aim?
Yeah.
So you're aiming, and what are you going to do?
If they're both aiming, then I guess I'll have to load it.
You want to load?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to need a strength check from you, and then from both of you, dexterity save, or checks.
15.
15.
14.
19.
19. As you all fire your cannons, you watch as these cannons begin to fire off. The balls fly across the battlefield, and you see them slam into the Citadel. 2 of them actually make contact with the tower, and as it hits, you see these crystals that are floating. They're only being held down by chains, and as the towers get hit, you actually watch the crystal and like snap as the tension and the tautness of the chain catches the crystal and pulls it back. You can see that Hakan was right. If those chains break, there's nothing from stopping you from them free floating. Now, the 3 of you go ahead and give me a perception check as well. You don't even need to roll climb because your cloak's just gonna get you up
I
there.
got the natural 20, 25.
10.
17.
Okay. Jez, you're focused on the towers as you're firing. Lavende, you immediately, your ears pick up the sounds of distress. It picks up the sound of pain and agony and death as you can't help but avert your gaze to the battle that is below you. And as you look down, you can see that the giants are being annihilated. It is not going to be. They are not going to be able to hold out very long. They are essentially fodder at this point. The broodlings are decimating them. You see the same thing, Fulner, and you can either keep firing at this tower, but what they desperately need is they need some sort of artillery support at this point if they're going to make it.
I want to start aiming at the helping them.
You're not going to declare it. You're not going to call it. You're just going to start aiming down there.
I'm going to start aiming down there.
Because you're not
helping the
aiming. You're loading
giants.
powder.
Oh, right. Well, isn't there another cannon?
They're all being used. Every cannon is being used.
It seems like a trick question you're asking him. Like, what?
Well, that means you have to communicate with the person aiming, which is Lavende.
Help the giants. They need help
But we need to get the towers. How far away are the towers, roughly?
From where the giants are?
From where we are.
From where you are, it's probably about 250, maybe 300 yards at most.
Can I see the chains? Are the chains visible? Because we said we saw
Yeah,
them.
you can see the chains holding those crystals.
Foner, I'm going to try something. Jez, Foner, can you guys aim at the giants, help them out?
Yeah, talk to me here. What are you going to be trying?
I'm going to try to hit the chains. Hakan said that the chains were really weak. I can see the chains.
Alright, go for it.
And I'm going to back up and pull out my bow, and I'm going to
You're gonna pull out your bow?
Yeah, I'm going to try to take these shots. I want to try this and see if this works.
Okay.
You're a sharpshooter.
Clutch.
All right. As soon as you pull out your bow, you notice that as soon as you stopped aiming, Marigold makes his way over. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Shut up, Marigold, and I'm going to aim. I'm going to try to aim and hit the chains.
As soon as you do that, Marigold. You notice he pulls out his mandolin. And you notice he starts to play a song, and as he plays a song, you feel this magical spell surge through your body as you feel yourself being inspired. Okay.
I'm going to aim and I'm going
Roll.
to take that shot.
And you're inspired by that as well.
What does that do? Is that advantage or?
For Marigold, that's a +8.
So I'm going to use one of my +3 arrows. So it's going to be 15 plus.
Those are the arrows of slaying?
No. I have +3 arrows.
Okay.
Remember? So that is 20 plus 12, so 32, 40 to hit.
40 to hit.
Yeah.
So you rolled 40.
Yeah. And I got the longbow, so I don't suffer any disadvantage.
Disadvantage from attacks long.
Yeah.
So you watch as Lavene pulls the bow back. He takes a second as he holds it almost half draw, not fully extending his arm back yet. And he looks, and you watch as he takes the bow and almost points it straight up as he lets it go. And you watch the arrow take off completely up, and you lose track of it as it soars towards the ceiling. About
Please hit.
a second later, which tower are you aiming at?
Whatever one that we shot at. That is.
Okay.
I would assume I wouldn't.
So you're
even,
hitting the left side.
Yeah.
So as you pull it, you notice that arrow, you see it stick right below the crystal. You hit the target, you hit the mark, you just didn't hit the chain. You were probably maybe a few inches off.
I don't know. It doesn't look like I hit.
Paul, I'm gonna take this. And I'm gonna go over next to Lavende. And how far away is it?
You could guess it's probably about either 250, 300 yards, somewhere in that range.
What's that in feet? Feet.
Oh, that in feet? A lot more. That's a lot more feet.
Yeah.
Well, I can't help that.
I'm going to.
God damn, that's a
I
lot.
can do this. I'm going to fire another one.
You're gonna fire another one?
I assume. Do I still get the?
You're still gonna get. He's gonna have to cast the spell again. But
Okay. I didn't know if it was.
Kaz, you've gotten up to the top of the right of the tower. As you get up there, you can see now these appear to be these large gemstones. They're free floating. They're floating right in the center of the tower. There's a band that's wrapped around the crystal itself and 3 chains holding it to the top of these spires. You notice the band has these same type of draconic magic carved around them. And inside, now that you can see it, surprisingly enough, actually looks like the inside of the sea diamond. You see a swelling surge of what looks like acid bubbling inside as the crystal itself has this black color to it.
And the chains are still intact on this tower?
They're still very much intact.
Okay.
Could you go ahead and give me an acrobatics check?
Okay. Uh, 21.
21. All right, as you're sitting there and you're looking at these crystals, you feel the entire tower shake as a cannon comes burrowing and blasting into the side of the tower. You take a few steps back, almost as though you're about ready to fall off the back of this tower, and as soon as your heels hit, you that kind of arm swing thing before you see Whisk kind of bamf in front of you as he bites onto you the bottom of your armor before he pulls you back and you kind of get your footing.
All right, good boy. Thank you. Can I, what do these chains look like they're made out of? Does it look like the same material that does the castle's made out of
Yeah,
it?
it looks like that like dark black looking steel or iron.
And does it look like on the crystal there's a way to safely aim it once the chains are...
If even one chain was missing, it would be able to move probably about, I would say, in a, not even a 180, I would say like a 60 degrees. You could probably move it in about 60-degree angle. If you had two of them broken, you could probably swing that at almost a 180-degree angle.
I'm gonna try swinging on it with my sword, just the chain itself.
Just the chain?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and roll to attack it.
And I'm swinging with both hands on my moon blade. That is a 29 to hit.
All right, go ahead and roll the damage. I'd say for future, don't even roll to hit it. Just roll the damage. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not going to dodge you.
Can I get my sneak attack die on this?
No, it is not. It is not a object capable of being snuck up on.
Pretty sure that chain's gonna be real surprising.
That is a 20.
20?
Yep.
20 damage? As you pull the moon blade out and you hold on to it, you hear this voice in your head, almost like the blade is doing that bonding, that you can like feel the blade's emotion. You're getting this sensation of control and readiness. As you bring the blade up and you strike down on it, you see a quick flash and spark of metal meeting metal. And as this happens, you see a good slash as it buries its way into a link on this chain. And as it does, as your blade comes out, you actually see this black, dark red ichor spread across the top of the tower as you look as the chain is bleeding.
Dave was right. Alright, this might hurt. I'm gonna just start going to town on
You're going to just keep hacking at it? Okay. You're going to fire again, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm firing again.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you this. You're going to need to get a 50.
Actually, I was going to see if I could use Hail of Thorns to try to, because it would turn the arrow into multiple arrows to try to hit.
You're still going to need 50.
Still getting.
You're going to need a 50 to hit it.
Why do you do this to me?
Just make a bard or full bards and inspire your will.
I don't think I could hit
That's
that.
gonna be a
I think you'd only be affected by
I was like,
bleed.
if you could stack it.
I don't think you can stack it. I think you'd only be able
broken it.
That's what we're here for, to break shit.
And this is also, Marigold has a special spell. He's not your typical bard.
What does that mean?
It's homebrew spells. He has
Why
homebrew
is it not
spells.
typical?
Because I think a lot of bard spells are a little lackluster.
Alright.
I was hoping I could hit it. I don't. I guess I'm gonna start helping with the cannon again.
You guys are helping with the cannon again?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you notice that he moves over to help, Lavender gives up on the bow and goes back to the cannon.
Alright, I want to try to aim my cannon at the chain.
Okay. Fire. So roll that dex.
Don't fuck me, don't fuck me, don't fuck me. Oh, you fucked me. 14.
14. Okay. Cannon goes off. You notice that it flies out and smashes into the Citadel. Doesn't get close to the tower, but it did hit the actual building. You are noticing now as these cannons are firing, you were actually seeing this Citadel begin to bleed as the cannons are crushing and denting into the iron of the Citadel, this red ichor almost seems to be oozing out of the Citadel itself. Falner, as you look down at the battle, King Rhinebeard has lost probably about half of his force at this point. You can see that a good portion of them are being decimated, and it looks as though Mox and Igor and Hakan are getting ready to retreat at this moment. You guys gonna fire again?
I'll fire
Cannons?
again.
Okay, go ahead and roll dexterity.
That's just a 14.
Balder, what do you want to do?
Oh, I was trying to shoot artillery earlier.
Okay, so you want to shoot down at the... So you want to take over someone's cannon.
Right.
All right. Whose cannon are you taking over then?
How many cannons are there?
They're all being used. That's what I'm saying. You're going to have to kick somebody off.
Right.
So you're going to kick Lavende off, you're either going to kick Jezebel off, you're going to kick Tinsel off, or you're going to kick Claudia off.
Are you still shooting?
He just fired one.
I literally just start firing.
I roll 17 and 5.
Okay.
I'll kick Tinsel off.
You're going to kick Tinsel off? So as you move over, you notice that Tinsel is aiming and firing his cannon.
Tinsel either get off the cannon or start shooting towards helping the giants.
I thought we were aiming at the towers!
They need help. What do you think's gonna happen when they all fall?
All right, okay. And you notice that he starts changing his direction. You notice he starts raising the cannon as he aims it down towards the giants.
Fallen. Go grab chainsaw. Grab some chainsaws. And down below deck.
Alright, and I'll run and grab some chainsaw.
Okay.
Chainsaws.
So you're gonna go run and grab chain shots? Kaz, can you go ahead and roll damage again for me?
Okay. That's going to be 20 damage again.
Okay. You notice that this time your blade, as it sinks into the steel, you actually watch as it breaks half of the chain link, and it breaks into the second part of the chain, and it looks like maybe one or two more strikes of that force, and it is going to sever this chain. Would you roll on yours?
14.
14, and then you roll a 17?
17.
Okay, so both of those just hit the Citadel. You come back with chain shot. What do you want to do?
I brought up as much as I could carry. What am I doing with this?
I start putting it into my cannon.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna switch to chain shots.
Okay.
I see what you're doing.
Are you firing at the tower still?
The chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll again. And if you're gonna fire again, go ahead and roll again.
I was firing at the...
You're gonna fire down there?
Yeah, the last one was
Bitch
fired down at the...
11, bitch.
where the
Giants.
tents were.
Okay. I'll take a count of that too then.
Sorry. But I'll... Okay.
Well, that dice is done.
But if I do...
Touching it again, give me one natural 20, now it's over.
But I'm going to fire again at the giants while she's firing.
Okay.
Well, not at the giants, but down at the birdlings towards the giants.
Okay. Could you go ahead and roll 5 d10s for me?
What?
It's how much damage a cannon does.
A lot of damage.
So 5?
5d10.
So going to roll. Hold on, it's rolling.
How many did you have?
5?
That looks like 20. How did you do 218 damage?
They rolled D10s. Or D100s for some reason.
Yeah, that's a little
Sorry,
different.
I was counting up. I assumed that one was 10. Sorry, here we go. Now it's going to be 10. So way faster. 28 damage.
28 damage.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So,
it shows me your roll. That's cool.
so you're the first one to unleash down into this group as you see your cannon fire explode into it. That one explosion causing a little bit of a deviation in the formation of the broodlings, making them buckle and retreat. You can see that the giants are able to at least get their breath and at least get their footing as the broodlings continue to push in and assault. Go ahead and roll your. What did you roll for yours? For your chain shot? 11. Okay. Your chain shot completely misses the Citadel and the tower.
On brand.
Falner.
How far away is the battlefield from us?
From where you're at, you're probably about 50 yards.
All right. Just to help out a little bit, I'll take off a bead from the necklace, and I'm casting a fireball at the broodlings.
Okay. You're gonna have to get it past the giants, though.
So are they between us and the...
Yeah.
All right.
Because the giants are between you and the broodlings. If you get down there, you could easily do that.
Right.
If you want to get into the fight.
Right. I don't know how much help I could be up here, but I'm gonna go down there and help him.
Alright, fine.
I'm jumping down, then I'm heading towards the battlefield.
All right, as you jump down and you begin to make your way to the battlefield, you can hear the cannon fire exploding behind you. You actually hear Tinsel's cannon fire shot off as you hear this fly over your head as you see it pass the giants and just skip across the ground as this chain just starts ripping through limbs and carcasses, and just chunks of crab meat go flying through the air. The chain shots are devastatingly more effective than a single shot when it comes to taking out numbers. As soon as you make your way up there, you can see that Hakan and Mox and Igor are currently assisting the giants as they're trying to push back broodlings. Hakan takes notice of your arrival as he kind of pushes back, as you see take his hammer, and as he cracks it into the top of one of these broodlings, you watch his head just sink into its chest cavity as its body turns to ice. As he pulls his hammer back, looks back. I was wondering when you were gonna arrive.
Oh, here to help. And I'm casting fireball.
You gonna use your fireball?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage for that.
In your items.
No, it's casted from here. And 8d6. Oh wait, I have to roll it first.
You just have to roll damage, right?
Damage, just damage. You really can't miss at this point. You'd be chucking it into essentially a mosh pit.
24 damage.
24 damage.
3 ones of damage.
You watch as you pull the fireball jewel and chuck it into this crowd. You see it detonate, and that 360 sphere explodes, and the smell of fried seafood and just crab meat instantly as these broodlings are vaporized within the blast of it. Okay, Kaz, go ahead and roll your damage again.
Okay. So what I want to do is attack the other chain to where it's going to be like half cut. So
okay.
if a cannonball comes towards it, it should just knock it right loose.
Okay. You
So-
notice that as you actually pay attention to the battlefield, you turn back and look towards the ship. You realize that only about half the cannons are firing on the towers now. It looks like the other two have now made their focus and are firing down into the broodlings. You can see that the battle is not going in your guys' favor as far as the ground forces go.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and attack the other chain, but before that, the right tower where I'm at, how far is it from the center tower?
From the center tower, how far is it? I would say it's probably about, I'd say 200 feet.
200 feet?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're pretty clustered together, actually.
Okay, and then as far as scaling the ramparts of this castle, am I able to run across towards that other tower?
It's actually, if you were to look at the way that the tower is formed, if you were to jump from this tower, you could land onto the outer ramparts of this. You would have to scale and probably jump from rooftop to rooftop, but you could make it to the other tower.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in out the other chain and roll damage. That's going to be 16, 17 damage.
17 damage? Okay. As you go ahead, you hack away at the other one, you can see it, and you can see that the crystal is now it is swaying quite a bit now, as you're loosening the chain on the other side as well. So back to you guys. You guys gonna fire down again, or you're gonna fire at the towers?
I'm still firing at the tower.
Go ahead and fire.
That does 22.
Roll your 5 d5s. Or d10s, sorry. Jez?
That's 11.
Jez, you miss again.
Thanks. That's my king.
34.
34 damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Been a while. I haven't done this in a while.
Wabende, you begin to fire down into the giants to give support as well. And as you do, you can see, again, your cannonballs just ripping through these just mass swarms of it. At this point, you guys have now done enough damage where it looks like the giants are now actually starting to not push, but they're holding the line. They're at least holding against the broodlings now. Folder, you're down in the fight. Are you pushing into the fray, or are you going to stand back and just keep throwing fireballs?
Well, throw a couple like agonizer scorches.
Like the flamethrower?
Right.
Okay.
It's a line attack. And then after that, I'm gonna start joining the fray.
Okay, go ahead and cast spell. Roll your damage. You need to get new dice.
16.
No, I rolled 19 when it doesn't matter.
Oh,
16, and it does a line of 30 feet.
go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah, that was damage.
16 damage. Okay. So, watch as Falner, after throwing his fireball jewel into the crowd, he casts a agonizer scorcher as this flamethrower emits 30 feet from his hand as he begins to just roast and just char into the broodlings. As soon as he ends his spell, you notice he grabs his blade and then moves in as he starts hacking down the burnt corpses, moving right next to Hakan. So, go ahead and roll your damage again.
Okay. That's going to be 16 damage.
Okay. As soon as you hit that second one, you watch as the chain completely breaks from it. You watch as the crystal begins to, as it pulls at the one chain that's still slightly attached is the only thing that's keeping it from just free floating. But you can see that it is almost in this weird oscillating, moving back and forth. Jez, can you go ahead and roll again?
I'm going to do one more damage to the crowd.
Okay.
It is 17.
I missed.
17.
Okay. You fire down into the crowd again. Go ahead and do your damage.
Could I use both my attacks?
Yeah, if you have two attacks, use
I have
both.
two
of them.
attacks, yeah.
Go ahead and do damage twice then.
Okay.
I thought you used mine, but I don't want you to.
So that's 20 damage.
Okay, so were you trying to attack the other one that was almost broken as well? Okay, as soon as you attack the other one again, you watch that it breaks completely and it is now free floating.
Okay. So the second that happens, I'm going to get into position to fire it. Or aim
Okay,
it.
to aim it.
I got 19 on that one.
19 damage. You notice as you fire your next one, it does appear, it looks like the broodlings are getting ready to push again as they're starting to recover from the cannon fire and they're moving back into formation. With not all the cannons firing down there, they are able to recover from the artillery that's being dropped down onto them. Jez misses her shot again.
No one
towards
notices,
the tower.
though. No one notices.
Your
too busy looking somewhere
your
else.
shots are just landing into the Citadel walls.
Good. Great.
Folder. You can see that the broodlings are now like coming straight up towards you. You are right face to face with them as you see, and they move towards you, snapping and pinching. They're gonna go ahead and roll on you. So how I'm gonna do this is I'm just rolling as a group mob. So essentially what I'm picturing is this is you being attacked by essentially every occupying square in front of you in a half moon. They then do the average between the roll, and then if they do hit you, it's going to do the damage based off of the average of each one of them combined into a single attack. This is just to speed up instead of having 7 things attack you, essentially. Okay, does a 24 hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy high.
Doesn't hit though.
Just barely.
Okay, so go ahead and take 14 points of damage. And as these broodlings come up towards you, you can feel as their claws snip down towards you, hard chitin-like armor slamming into your body as you're blocking blows and swaying back and forth with your sword, trying just to fend them off. You just swing back? All right, go ahead and attack. And I will give you essentially the same thing. When you're attacking one, you're actually attacking a group of them.
Roll in, baby. 16.
16? Roll your damage.
That's 17 damage.
All right. Which rune do you have in your blade?
Which rune do I have?
Which rune is in there?
It's cloud.
What's the word?
Oh, that's right. It doesn't say on the. No, it wouldn't say on the.
Don't worry, I'll grab it for you later. So for this situation, there actually is a word for each.
Right. I could have sworn that they must have changed it when it came out officially.
You know what, let me, I don't have my phone on me, I can't look that up. Okay, never mind. You hear, as you grab your blade and you rip your hands around it, you look towards the broodlings as they move towards you, and almost in this, like, baseball bat-like grip, you hold the blade next to your head, and you hear this booming voice almost emit from the blade. And as you swing your blade, this shockwave explodes from it as it begins to just slay and slaughter these broodlings as they move towards you. As you cut your way into the fray, you see Hakan having to actually charge up behind you to keep your flank covered, and as he's starting to get swarmed and flanked, you see him turn around as this massive fucking 4-legged bear creature comes burrowing in, as you see Taku with both of his axes in his hands just slaughtering as they move down. All the meat! And he just starts hacking into them one by one. You actually watch as he sticks his axe into one of them. He just reaches down.
Yeah, he's not a bear though.
Okay. Cassie, go ahead and roll. Okay.
It's concerning.
So the
Oh, you're just gonna prep for the aiming, right?
correct.
Okay.
So it doesn't look like they're primed or ready to fire at all.
It doesn't look like they've been able to push into that range where they would fire yet. It looks like they're having troubles. As soon as you see Falner push into it, you having a better field of vision, you notice that the giants almost seem to react. It takes you a moment, Falner, to see it, but the giants, as soon as you moved in and that sword bursted with that word of power, the giants just fucking lose it. You notice that they just start to go into this mad blood frenzy like rage. And as they start to push in, some of them forego their shields and their spears and their weapons, and they just start moving in and grabbing broodlings and ripping them apart and just slaughtering them by droves as they just start bulldozing their way through them. Even as multiple broodlings are crawling on them and piercing their skin, they're just ripping them off and tearing them to pieces. It is an awful sight and inspiring at the same time. Jess, you see this as well? Are you going to fire your cannon again?
Can I load instead of regular cannonball? There's still chain shots. Still
You can load chain
I
shots.
want to load a chain shot for
Okay.
this next one and then fire directly down.
Very well.
So, what I want to do is summon forth an elven shadow from my blade.
Okay.
And I'm going to have the shadow hold the crystal. So, and then as is holding the crystal, I'm going to point that crystal towards the main forces down on the ground, the broodlings, and then I'm going to make my way towards the center tower.
All right. Go ahead and give me a acrobatics check then.
I'll actually activate my dancing, my blade singing, and it's going to give me advantage on my acrobatics roll.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
Please, God.
I didn't get 16. I got
Please,
12.
Levistus. Give me this.
I got 12 on mine.
Okay.
Oh, God.
19.
19? Mm-hmm. Okay. You manage to, as you leap from the tower, you actually slide across the tower before you jump off and you land onto the side of the rampart. Using your enchantment on your cloak, you're able to easily run across the wall before hopping back and forth, almost like in this Prince of Persia-like style, before you eventually get you to the wall of the other tower as you start climbing up. Lavende, as you fire your chain shot in, go ahead and roll your damage. It's pretty much, you have to roll over a 5 to hit them. There's so many.
Is it different for the chain shot?
Chain shot is different. Chain shot is actually less damage, but
I'm trying to hit more.
you're hitting more. Yeah. So go ahead and roll 3 d10s, and then you roll a 16.
I roll 16 for my chain shot.
Okay.
Wow, 23.
23 damage.
Oh my gosh.
As you fire your chain shot and you fall there, you're down into the mayhem of it. You can just see the chains flying through, and now you are fighting side by side with Hakan and Taku, both of them holding their own and just slaughtering droves as you guys are pushing your way in like a spearhead, with the giants now beginning to flank on the right and left side. You guys are actually creating a pincer formation without even doing it, or at least communicating that you're going to do it. Jez, as you fire your cannon, that shot flies and it hits the tower, and as it hits the tower, it shakes, and you hear that final break of another crystal on the far left. Now there is a crystal that is now free floating on the left side as well. You see it. You see it actually go free floating, and as you look towards the crystals, you see on the far right there's actually another one that is free floating as well. You know that they gotta push ahead. If you guys don't push ahead, those towers aren't gonna activate now.
Okay.
I'm loading another chain shot.
You're gonna load another chain shot? Okay. Falner, back to you.
It's Sky. S-K-Y-E. The name of the room.
Sky? Okay,
That's
so
awkward.
that was the when the sword activated, you heard Sky! And that's what happened. Okay. Gonna go ahead and roll again on you. Wow, that's only an 8.
Wow, that seems...
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Uh, 17.
Okay, roll damage.
Uh, 18.
18. Okay. As you begin to slaughter your way forward, and push. You notice that Hakan stops, and as he looks up towards the towers as he's fighting,
The crystals! They're free! We need to break the line. We gotta push through these broodlings or they're not gonna turn on.
Then I'll start off with a. Oh, actually, I already have my turn.
you notice that as soon as you do that, he looks over towards Taku.
Taku, cover me!
And Taku just stands guard as he looks and basically protects Hakan as he's looking both ways. You notice that Hakan drops his hammer to the ground, and you see that he unclips his breastplate, and as his breastplate falls to the ground, you notice that he stands
With silver breath and platinum wings, I take flight!
and his wings explode from his back as he grabs the hammer.
I'll draw the towers. Keep pushing forward.
And you notice his wings take off, and as he takes lift and flies up into the sky, you see he starts breaking that line, and as soon as he breaks that cusp into the no man's land, you watch as the gems start to charge up and glow bright. The tower that you just got to, as you were scaling your way up, you see it starting to brighten up. So you gonna make your way up to the top? Okay.
And my movement speed is also increased by 10 feet.
You're able to easily get up to the top. Yeah.
Is the chains loose on the middle one?
The one that you just got to, the middle one, it is completely solid still.
Okay.
It has got the least fire out of everyone, out of all the towers.
So my elven shadow is pointing towards the broodlings.
Broodlings,
forces.
yep. As you look over to the left, you can see that there's another crystal that appears to be free floating. It's only attached by one chain, and then the other one next to it, it looks like one chain is broken, but there's two chains still attached, and it is still focusing down towards. As you look, you can see Hakan is flying through the air. It appears that they're going to target Hakan.
Okay. So the left one's completely free. I'll use my movement, and I'm going to try to get to the left tower.
So you're gonna stay towards the. You're gonna leave the middle one then? Because you definitely will not have enough movement to get all the way to the left tower.
That's true. Okay, I'm going to just go to town on the chain. I'm going to just focus on one.
Okay.
And,
Go ahead and roll both your attacks then.
Okay, so 20 damage. And then another 21. So 20 and 21.
Okay. You slash through the chain with one strike. You watch as the blade, it was almost like cutting through air. You just see the chain just separate with one single blow, and now it's at that 60-degree almost swivel, but it's still aiming towards Hakan. You could deviate it just enough to where he could dodge it, though.
Okay. I'm going to just turn it away so it's not going to hit him.
Okay.
Is it a way that I can point it towards the broodlings at all?
You can try to aim it down that way, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Okay. As you look towards the gem that you're holding, you can see it's this red crystal inside. It looks like there's a swirling inferno inside of the gem. All right. You guys ready?
Yes,
Jez, are you still firing at the towers?
I thought we were pushing forward.
Yeah, I'm firing still.
You're still firing at the broodlings?
Yeah.
We're pushing forward, we're shooting the towers.
All right, what are you gonna do, Jez, then?
Do we need to still be shooting the towers? Because the stuff's, it's free now, right?
I don't know. I just want them to be safe.
What
down there.
you actually can't hear their dialogue down there. You just notice that the chains are free. That when they activate, they're gonna basically be able to be moved, essentially, like Hakan said. But you have no like intel. You have no battle intel of what's going on down in the front line.
still shooting at the broodlings.
Yeah, the rest of your crew is either firing at, 2 of them are firing at the towers, and then the other 2 are firing down into the broodlings.
Alright, I guess I'll just keep firing the tower.
You should keep firing at the tower then? Okay. Go ahead and roll again.
You got this. Can't wait to see what you roll, my D&D beyond.
I got the 11.
It's a natural 1.
No, it's a 3, I got 9. I don't care about this fight anymore. I'm just.
This is
Okay, right.
not a good night for
No
Jens.
one notices.
I'm checked out.
No one notices.
I notice.
Everyone thinks you're doing your thing, man.
We 11. Okay. Go
Holy shit.
ahead and roll your damage again.
What the fuck, dude?
Man, I've been there.
Yeah, I know.
I've
You've
been
been, you've been there for quite a long time.
This is the last one.
Have a whole emo over it, Justin.
Oh, shit. Hold on.
spammed it
Just
for
one
you
second.
earlier.
I
I
hit,
appreciate that, thanks. I'll spam it back for you.
Would you like to use my golden snitch?
No, I'll curse it. I think I'm turning into Justin.
Well, if you keep thinking you're gonna roll badly, you're gonna roll badly. That's what it is. It's the power of suggestion.
No, because I'm not rolling it by hand. I'm rolling on the app now.
Oh.
It's still doing it.
I got 22 damage.
22 damage? Okay.
Why don't you try his? Maybe you don't have
I
that.
don't. Think
I mean,
I
it's-
don't think you want me to do that.
It's rolled 2 natural 20s back to back.
Okay. You fire your shot as it blasts its way down into it. Falner. They're gonna roll on you again. Wow. That's 12.
That's fine.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't.
Doesn't.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the hit again.
That's what that meant. It didn't hit him.
29.
29. Okay. Your damage.
$17.
As you begin to slaughter through, you notice that as you are just becoming covered in this blue crustacean blood. The blood and that blue ichor is dripping down the blade. You watch as it starts to fill in the hollow socketed blood grooves and runes that follow the trail along the blade. And as they do, you see them, they begin to light up. And as they light up, you see that this wind begins to swirl around you. Watch your hair begin to almost rise up in this, like, not Super Saiyan like fashion, but your hair begins to rise as this wind almost is like encompassed around you as you are slaughtering through them. That is when you see and look up these crystals beginning to charge, and they reach their peak limit, and you watch as each laser begins to fire in its respective direction. You see the tower on the far right, this black crystal, this shadow-like figure holding this crystal, aiming down towards the broodling. This stream of boiling green acid begins to spray and just dissolve and melt through the broodlings, creating this massive path. And it doesn't stop. It's not like a shot and ends. It's a consistent stream of just turret volley damage being rained down on them. On the other end, you can see this burning trail of fire being just driven down from the center. On the far left, you can see that there's this one chain that appears to be like swinging back and forth, and it starts spraying this cloud of green like almost smoke that's spreading throughout the air. And that's when you see that Hakan is flying directly towards this blue charged crystal. And as you notice that all chains are connected, it's locked onto Hakan as he's moving and flying directly at it. As it goes off, you watch as this burst of lightning arcs through the air. As Hakan, mid-air, you watch his wings spread out and his mouth opens. you see lightning begin to clash midair as his breath is being slammed into this turret as he flies towards it. And while he's breathing this lightning towards this crystal, you watch as he throws his hammer and it smashes into this blue crystal and it shatters into like a chunk of multiple pieces. The lightning begins to arc and flash and skip as it begins to go in and out before this massive explosion happens on the tower. Acrobatics check from you.
Yeah, so leaving him on the boat.
Who are you talking to?
It shouldn't be good.
20.
20? Yep. Okay. You are able to actually, like, as this explosion happens, it rocks you as this, your crystal actually breaks from its chain. You feel the crystal leave your hand, and you watch it fall off the tower. And as it's falling off the tower, it's aiming directly down into the Citadel. As the crystal hits the ground, you hear this explosion amid as you feel your tower start to. You realize that this tower is going down, and it is going down quickly.
Okay. Which direction is it falling?
It's falling towards the left side, so it's falling towards the side that has the just had the other explosion.
Okay. So I'm going to use this to my advantage as the tower is falling towards the left part of the ramparts. I'm gonna wait till it gets just enough to where I can jump off and grab onto a wall.
Okay.
And start scaling up it.
All right. Go ahead and give me another acrobatics roll then.
Okay.
That's such a Kaz thing to do.
That's gonna be 19.
Okay. You begin to run on this tower as it begins to fall, and as it's falling, you're actually running down the tower as it's falling this way. You get to a point where you can find one of these platforms where jagged iron spikes are rising up, and you have to jump and clear the spikes just to get a footing onto the other side. And as you jump, you fly through the air, and you realize you are not going to make it. And you see that Wisp bamps underneath you, and your foot touches his back as you bounce off of him and get more height as you almost like double jump using his body. And as you clear the spikes, you watch as he bamps through the spikes and lands as you land onto the tower, and he lands almost in this like. Okay. At this point in the battlefield, you see that the broodlings are now starting to act strangely. They seem to almost have this confused or dazed look in their eyes. They start to like look back and forth. You notice that Taku is just slaughtering through them left and right as he just goes from one person to another. And you can see that the broodlings are. They look confused, like panicked, like they're not even fighting back. They've just stopped. Jez, Labade, what do you guys want to do? You guys have seen this too. You can see this up on the battlefield. The broodlings look like confused and stopped.
Well, I'm gonna start.
Should we go?
I don't want. I'm ready to attack in case he's gonna make a move.
I feel like we should.
Oh no, you know, start moving in. I'll keep a couple of others on the cannons.
All right, let's move.
So is there two crew members just hanging around?
Yeah, you've got Claudia, Marigold, you've got Sky, you've also got Igor's down in the fight.
So anyone who's just like hanging around not doing anything, I'm gonna yell at them, hey, someone take these two cannons. Keep firing at the towers.
You notice that the rest of your crew, they split up and start helping you. They continue to fire. You notice that Tinsel looks up towards you like, Captain, do you want me to keep firing at the crabs or the towers? I don't know. What are we doing?
I feel like we need to. They don't look good. Just like the crabs, they don't look good. I don't feel like that would be right.
Well, also, I don't want a chance of them hitting us if we're going to be going into the fray, so maybe don't. Stay in the towers.
Barry looks at you like, we hold no fire then, Captain?
No, you're gonna fire the towers.
All right, keep firing the towers then.
God damn it, Barry.
They look towards you, and then he gives the order, and people start firing again at the towers as cannons begin to fly overhead. What are you gonna do?
The Brewlings are not attacking you.
They are not attacking. They're just standing there, almost in this like complete daze.
Well, then I'm just like, whoa,
You notice that
still fighting?
eventually Taku kind of stops, and you notice he moves over to one. It's just standing there like looking, and he just he looks back towards you. They're not even fighting anymore.
The. What? I address one of them. What's going on? Are you giving up?
Oh, should we like break some sort of mind control thing? Is that the towers?
You notice that they just start scattering now. They just start moving around, and
I'll relax a little bit.
Oh, I don't trust that. I don't trust that.
I guess we can enter.
you notice that King Rhinebeard in the fight. You notice he looks like, no mercy, slaughter them all. And the giants just start slaughtering them, just catching them no matter what they're doing. It's just easy kill, fish in a barrel.
So, where we're at on the ship, how far away are they? Is it like, can we
About
just...
50 yards.
So it would just be quick to run up?
Yeah, just have to run over there, yep.
I didn't know if I needed to be shape or anything.
No,
like
you
that.
could run to there on your foot.
Okay.
You gonna go with Lavande then?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Summon my Hexblade before I go.
you summon your Hexblade and you make your way over to Falner, Hakan, Mox, and Igor. Now that you're on top of the rampart, you can look down the battlefield. You see this as well. It looks like the fighting is kind of halfway stopped. The giants are continuing their assault, pushing towards the Citadel, killing everything in their path. But you can see your group is kind of like in this weird. It's like they're not sure what the next plan is.
All right. So how many towers are still operational?
You can see that your shadow is still spraying down into that, and the fire one is now gone. The lightning one is now gone. The poison one is spraying a cloud of poison that's running down the left side of the Citadel, and it's dissipating. The only one that's left is the ice one, and the ice one it's not even activated at this point. It's just stopped working.
All right. Well, I'm going to. It doesn't really give me like the way. Like it just says I can command this shadow. It's just serving me.
Yeah, you can just do like basic functions and
Yeah.
actions.
Like as far as like communicating.
You have telepathy with it.
So I'm gonna basically tell the shadow to point that crystal at the other tower, and just
frost
start,
one?
Yep, and then I'm just gonna start having it just destroy the other.
As it moves towards the other tower, which the frost one was only being held together by one chain in the first place. So when all of them went off, it was actually just blasting up into the sky. It was almost like a fire hose off on its own.
Okay.
As the acid blasts into that, you actually see it melt away the crystal, and as the crystal melts, there's this explosion and this pop as you watch the top part of the tower just flash freeze as this instant like blizzard just erupted in the air. After that, the only one that's now active is currently the acid one. After it destroys the poison one, your shadow could point it towards the ground and just blow itself up.
All right. And that's what eventually is gonna happen.
Okay.
Just blow itself up.
As that happens, it just blows itself up. You guys have destroyed and annihilated every tower now. It's completely down. You guys witnessed this as you guys were making your way up towards the Citadel. You notice that as this happens, King Rhinebeard shouts out towards you, Clan Wildheart! We'll deal with the cowards! You kill the witch!
Will do. I'm heading towards the city. Well, into the city. Citadel.
Are we there with him?
Yeah.
Already? You're just gonna let them slaughter them?
Yeah.
They didn't do anything wrong, really.
They've been killing each other for a long time, right? They've been going at it. From what I understand.
Yeah, right. But like, they clearly killed some of the giants, so why not?
I thought we had an understanding that they were being mind controlled.
What?
They're not killing them now. They're not even doing anything.
We have an idea that maybe they might be mind control, but you know, it's out of our hands now.
For all
We have
know,
to get in there. If we don't get in there now, Kaz could be in big trouble. So either try to save all these annoying crabmen, or let Kaz possibly die.
Why don't you just tell them to not attack them?
Because I'm not really worried about them.
It's good to know. And I'm going to start looking in.
Okay. As you guys move, are you gonna meet up with them then?
Yes, I'm gonna start making my way towards the palace floor.
Okay. As you make your way towards them and meet up with them, you slide down the wall, and as you get towards the mouth of this, the entrance into the Citadel, you guys notice that Kaz has made his way up towards all of you.
You made it.
I did.
Good job.
Thank you.
Kind of didn't go exactly to plan, but what plan does?
Well, yes. I looked like it was rather hairy down on the field, so I figured I'd start helping out.
Well, just getting layers of blue blood off of me.
So where are we headed now?
Well, hopefully gonna go and kill Dretha. Fair warning, again, giant crab, so just heads up. And big, muscly, mongoloid-looking creature things with crab arms, so.
So nightmare fuel,
Yes.
right?
You notice that Hakan lands down. You notice that his wings kind of fold into his back. I don't stay out here, Captain. You notice that as this happens, Mox comes running up. You notice that they bring up their flanged mace. And I'm going in with you. I'm ready to kill a dragon warlock.
Alright. Well, it's now or never. Pressing it.
Follow Kaz to Normal.
Okay. So, the group then makes their way. As you cross your way into the mouth of the Citadel, you see the large iron portcullis is still open from the swarm of broodlings that came running out. As you make your way into this Citadel, it's got a little bit of a different feeling than it did last time you were in here, Kaz. Last time you were in here, it seemed more like a guard station or a really heavily fortified fort. It has this ominous, just bearing of dominance that's exuding from the walls itself. There's this almost this aura of just contempt and disgust. Not towards anything in particular, but just sort of directed at all of you.
We all feel that?
Yeah, it's like this feeling in your gut. It's like if you, imagine the sensation of going to someone's house that you know they don't like you, but you're pretending that they don't.
Now you guys feel that? Feel weird?
It feels weird in here.
It's kind of like how I felt whenever I go back home and visit my mom.
Can I get a perception check from you, Lavade?
That's gotta be a shitty feeling.
22.
It is what it is.
Okay. You start to feel something moving around in your pack.
Going to look down.
You look down in your pack.
Yeah.
You notice that there's these vines that are starting to spread out of your pack. They almost look like symbiote-like tentacles.
What? I'm going to take the pack off and like
You see, it looks like these vines are growing off and growing out of the pack. You can see these small little buds of flowers starting to pop open up.
We all see this?
Yeah.
What you got there?
What is it you doing there?
I'm not doing anything, and I'm going to use the my staff of the woodlands to speak with plants.
Okay.
I've never done that before. I've always wanted to do it.
All right.
And I'm going to be like, "What are you?"
You hear nothing back.
I open the bag up.
As you open the bag up, you look down and you can see it's that mask that you found. And there's these vines growing out off of the side of it as the vines are creeping their way up and wrapping their way out of it.
How did you get in here? And I'm going to set the bag down and pull it out.
As you pull out this mask, you can see on the inside there's these vines like growing out of the wood. There's these buds going each in different way before it sticks onto your face.
Not again!
Oh no, oh god.
Pull it off.
As you watch as it sticks onto his face, the vines sort of wrap around and clasp, and you watch as it completely encase his head and close.
Alright, what do we do? I'm gonna pull out a dagger. Do we just like cut it off? What do we do?
How am I?
As you put it on, it's strange because you can feel yourself being able to breathe still. Doesn't feel like anything's obstructing your mouth, even though there is no mouth hole or opening for this mask. It's strange as well as when you speak, it's like you're speaking openly with everyone around you.
Long day?
Am I dead? What happened?
So wait, how's this look to us? Is he just talking through the mask?
Yeah, it looks like he's just talking
It's
to
a
the
solid
mask.
mask. There's no openings?
There's no mouth opening, there's no nose opening, but there's just two eye holes.
I'm going to like.
Is it his eyes?
Yeah, it's his eyes.
I'm going to grab the antlers and like try to pull it off.
As you try to pull it, it doesn't budge.
What is happening?
Careful,
What is?
Lemonade. Can you breathe in there?
Yeah, I can breathe.
What the fuck?
I don't know how that got in my bag. I didn't have it in there. It was in my room.
Fuck how it got in your bag. How'd it get in your face like that? What the fuck?
I don't know. I didn't even mess with it.
Are you okay?
I feel fine. Like I'm just going to like.
You watch the mask go into his skin.
Alright. I'm not cool
You
with
watch
that.
as the antlers just go into his
Do I
skull.
feel that?
It feels no different than you doing something like this.
Oh,
Feels like a natural body mechanic.
lovely, buddy. I don't think we're getting that off you anytime soon.
You just see his normal face.
You need to stop
like-
touching anything.
Wait, it's his face now?
Yeah.
It like melded into. Where's the horns? The horns still
They're
there?
gone. They went into his head.
So it just like absorbed into his body.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need
very
you-
similar to like the staff.
To stop touching things made of wood and also maybe plants. You are literally just devouring them.
You hear
wanna
this
walk up to him.
noise begin to emanate within your own mind.
God.
You start to hear this like
Man.
soft, soothing. It's soothing more than anything. But when you hear it, you guys watch as Lavende, without having any facial reaction, you see tears just start to pour down his face.
Oh my god.
And as tears begin to pour down his face, you're hearing this soothing, calm voice, but it's sad because you can not just hear it, but you can feel its pain. Help me. Help
Okay, I'm just going to think. How do I do that?
You can feel this vibration, and you start to feel the beating of this creature's heart.
Wait, this creature?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe we can get that off of him?
How can we get it off of him? It's inside of him. You're the wizard. Is
you
that something you do?
Are you okay?
Okay,
You are crying, mate.
I don't know how.
You feel like you have food poisoning. You feel like someone has stabbed you in the heart. You feel like you have boils and cysts. You feel sick.
Oh no! Oh no! Something. I don't. I feel like this thing is trying to talk to me.
What thing? What thing? The mask?
The thing. This thing.
The creature?
You guys don't hear anything.
What's it saying?
To help it.
Can you communicate with it?
I've tried it. It kind of. It. I don't know. I just had this on my face.
Tell it to hold on a little longer if you can.
Chad, could you please go ahead and add the spell Commune to Primordials?
What?
I'm sorry. What?
What is happening these past few sessions?
Can I accidentally cast that?
You just did.
I just did. Wait. When it talked to me, or just now? How long does that last? Can I?
I believe you get to ask 3 questions.
How can we help?
How? Oh, I technically already asked that.
What did it say?
It didn't say anything.
Great.
Is that what you want? I wasn't going to waste your first
Oh, okay.
answer.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was.
So you want to ask, how can I help?
Yeah.
You hear... Infection.
Just said infection. Father, didn't you blow your horn and like?
Yeah, we have to remove the infection first. Like we have to get rid of the queen, and then we can do that. She's the cause of all this.
Who exactly is the infection?
What?
Scales.
And are the giants good?
You picture this body of water, and it's like you're seeing the ocean, and you watch the ocean turn milky white, and the answer is unclear.
I could answer that for you. Giants are naturally just good. They kind of just follow their own law.
I want to know if they're good for the beast. For me.
Oh, I see.
And it doesn't.
What does it say?
I just saw. You said the ocean.
It was like you saw an ocean turn gray.
I saw an ocean turn like a gray. It didn't really tell me.
It gave you this sensation of this of the uncertainty.
I don't even think it knows if they're good.
Well, from what I saw, they've been trying to get rid of this witch. So I mean, they're not all bad.
But what if the beast has been trying to get rid of them from him?
Maybe. I'm sure that. I mean, and I'm assuming we're walking, talking, right?
Well, if you are,
We've been following Kaz.
I'm not entirely too sure. Like, I think we paused.
I was assuming you guys were paused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happening.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Well, I assume like once we take care of this, they don't really have a reason to stay here. They came here to escape the war with the dragons. I mean, it's entirely up to Ronbeard, King Ronbeard, but I don't see why they would stay here.
I hope they don't, because it's hurting a lot for me. It's hurting a lot. But I do agree that she's the first step, and we need to go do that. Where is she at? Kaz?
Well, she's probably in the throne room, I would assume.
You're okay.
We'll be fine.
Oh, scared me, mate, sometimes.
Okay, so that happened. Are you gonna be okay to push forward?
I'll be fine.
Alright.
You notice that as you're saying that, you see that Wisp kind of moves over towards him and just and just starts licking your hand.
My hand?
Yeah.
He didn't really like me last time.
I guess Wisp is warming up to us. Alright, this is touching. Let's try to be quiet, I guess, and push forward.
Maybe Wisp is a primordial.
I don't think so. The quicker we do this, the better.
Alright, stealthily push forward.
As you all stealthily push forward, you realize that there is no opposition. Nothing is stopping you. And you are able to quickly make your way to the throne room. The doors are already wide open.
Alright, before we go and we get into all this shit, let's remember there's something that might be on her person or around the area that's connecting her with Tiamat. So keep our minds while we're in here. If we can destroy it, it'll help us.
I'll keep an eye out.
So, like, what do you mean? Like, exactly what should we look for?
I don't even know. I just know that it's something that's going to be helping give her power or give her the connection with Tiamat. It's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be like a physical item. I don't know. But where I'm going to be looking, apparently she's riding a giant crab. Is that what you were saying?
Giant crab monsters. So, yes.
I'll be examining that giant crab she's on.
Okay.
Push in.
Pushing.
As you push in, you notice that Dretha is lying on top of her crab throne. Looking to the right and left of her, you see the two crab-like guards standing watch. You see that she has what looks like a crystal dragon egg in her hand. Notice that as she holds it, you see her throw it up, and it begins to levitate. You watch it float up to the center of the room.
Do you see
It's
nothing?
Wisp.
He wants to play Wisp. Let him play.
He's the Wisp mini.
I think it's like the second week in a row we haven't put him up.
Because he's been sleeping until this point.
Earlier, I made a face to see, like, I immediately felt something brush up against my leg. I was like, oh.
You've done so good.
Oh my god, is the dragon egg is the artifact or the item?
She has a dragon egg?
Oh, excuse me, what? He said that she had a crystal dragon
You threw it
egg.
up and it's like in the,
I'm sorry,
air,
I'm
remember? Yeah. It's like
I was paying attention to the cat. My bad.
That is the problem. Phone.
Are we thinking of that? Okay.
Probably.
As it floats up to the center of the room,
You just smoked.
you see Dretha. Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. After all, I've heard some rather impressive things about your group.
Have you? Like what?
All good things, I hope.
As they're talking to her, can I scan the room? Use perception check on the room?
Sure.
Ooh, that is a 12. Probably don't see nothing.
Pretty standard, typical throne room, rectangular in shape. There's large red banners on the walls. There does seem to be this strange, like, ancientness to the banners. They almost look like antiques. They're very worn, very weathered. Most of the things in this room look lavish and extravagant, as far as, like, her throne is encrusted with gold. She also has what looks like this gold shoulder dress that has these large draconic gold-like horns that are rising off of her, both sides of her head. You can also see that she's adorned with golden armor, and she also has what looks like gold jewelry. It's very clear that she is
She likes gold.
exhibiting the hoarding tendencies of dragons. Now, I called off the broodlings. There's no need for unnecessary violence. I only really want one thing. And if I have it, then I can leave. And I'll leave this creature in peace.
Okay.
And it is, what's the thing?
That sword. Give me the sword, and I leave. And you and this creature can do whatever you please.
It's quite an offer.
What's so special about the sword that you want?
Doesn't belong to your friend. Belongs to someone else.
Oh.
That sword was made with the blood of a particular dragon. That dragon died to make that blade. That dragon's mother wants the sword back.
Oh, I'm sure it's for more than sentimental reasons.
Well, that's for her. Not for me to decide. I don't see what's wrong with this offer. It's a simple sword for everything else that you need here. Akora Thane, why don't you talk some sense into him?
Well. Dretha. As much as I would love to trust you with that sword, I don't think I would.
You know what I want out of this.
Do I? I'm rather getting confusing signals from you.
Are you? I'm fairly certain that Eliafel's memories are still scraping along the skull inside your mind. I know that he would be most interested in what his son Selamor has been doing in his Altivado beneath the depths. And if we do not act quickly, Old Bela is very close to achieving that themselves.
There's not going to be a we. I don't trust you, and Liefeld doesn't trust you. Once a traitor, always a traitor.
Well, I did not want it to end this way, but if we must. You know, as her eyes open, they look purely draconic. You watch her eyes, the pupils turn into slits as they turn into almost like this lizard-like eyes. She takes a step up on her throne, and you notice that the crab then rises up off the ground and holds itself. She brings her hand up. You watch as that crystal egg begins to charge and glow. Let us end this. And that's where it ends tonight.
Oh, god damn it! What the fuck?
Meanwhile, in another scene.
Oh, okay.
Let's change this real quick.
Oh my god.
Actually, no, we'll go with this one. You hear the sounds of scratching parchment, a quill running along, quickly, fast pace, a hard steadiness to the pen as it lays word after word. A subtle pause as the hand places the quill down, grabs a goblet, takes a drink. sound of a window screen, or not screen, but a window being pushed open. The double hinges swinging to both sides. The sound of a cool wind blowing into the room. Snow. Begins to fly in. The drapes flowing to the side as this dark, shadowy figure makes its way in through the window. And as its feet land, you hear a voice, a man sitting at the desk, writing his parchment. Please shut the window. I do hate the cold. Shadowy figure then turns and closes the window. You hear the hard boots walking across the wood over to the desk. Did you do as I asked? I did. And? Did they take the bait? Wasn't really bait. We told them the truth. We don't care for certain members of the council. True. Regardless, we need them. We mean... Need is a strong word, isn't it? I should say. They are advantageous to us at the moment. Don't you agree? As long as this ends with the Master returning, I'm fine with that. I'm sure that Death Speakers would like to return to their former power, wouldn't they? Get rid of the fanatics that are calling the Death Tongues, right? And you should know. You've been employing them for a long time, haven't you? Merryway. It's true. But as Merryway grabs the goblet, after Zeltivado returns, there will be no going back. And that is where we're going to end tonight's episode. So,
I love it when you end it like that.
so thank you guys all for joining us tonight on episode 44. Be sure to come back next Sunday as we resolve the fight, the boss fight with Dretha, and we push forward into what lies for the fate of the Leviathan, the Broodlings, and the Giants, and even more. What is going to happen at Three Snakes Bay, and how late are the Widowmakers now due to this diversion? Thank you guys all. If you guys have been following, be sure to show up tomorrow as we watch, or as we play our episode 4.
Because I mean, that's last week.
Yep. Because last week there was a snowstorm.
Yes.
Funny enough.
Ironically enough,
Yeah.
the campaign chronicle about being in a blizzard Arctic
Actually happened.
setting actually happened.
I won't say that we had anything to do with that, but
Also, Lake Michigan looks fucking bomb as fuck right now.
Why?
It's trending. You have to look at it. You'll see
It's frozen?
But yeah, it's trending. Look up on Twitter.
Okay.
There's a few videos. It's really fucking cool.
But we will be continuing that with episode 4, and then tomorrow's episode is titled A Gelid Hello. So, thank you all, and until next time, remember to embrace the dark. Goodbye.